So welcome back again, students. In our previous lecture, we are seeing a complex example of geometric elements. So let's start again from where we left off. So this is the program where we left off. We have imported libraries like glfreegrad.h, and then we have imported another library which is windows.h for MS Windows users. And then here you can see there is a function declaration, and uh, which is basically clearing or a background color. And this is a predefined function gl clear color, and it is also taking three parameters in floating point notation, black and opaque. Here we are giving different colors, which is black and opaque with opaque background. So here is another function which is called repaint event handler for the window repaint event, and it is a callback function when the window first appears and when the window needs to be repainted. So we always call this function and register this function in the main function. Okay, so this is a main function. Here we are registering this function, display function. So let's look at and dig deeper into the display function. Here we can see that there is the same GL color function, and the purpose of this function is to clear the color buffer with current clearing color. So it's clearing the current color, which is by default in GL color buffer bit. And as I told you in the previous lecture, we always draw different geometric primitives with the help of different functions in OpenGL. And one of these functions are GL begin. Here you can see that we are trying to draw a quadrilateral. Each set of four vertices form a quad, which is a square. And the GL color 3F, it is taking three arguments over here, and these floating point numbers are the notation for the red color. And similarly, we are drawing the vertex informations, defined vertices in counterclockwise order so that the normal front face is facing you. So let try to run this program and see how it shows. And after that, we are doing the same thing. We are going to paint first quadrilateral in red color, and then in the green color, and then in the dark colors and white colors. Okay, so these are all different options we give to these predefined functions in OpenGL, and then there is a function that is going to bend. Now we are going to create a triangle. These are the constants, and then we are drawing a triangle with the blue lines, and we are giving the different vertices information. So these three lines are always vertices information, and this is for the color information. And similarly, we are specifying color over here and vertex information over here, color information, vertex information, color information, and then vertex information. And then in this block we are drawing a polygon. These vertices form a closed polygon, and it is a yellow in shape. So here we are mentioning the color information, and here we are mentioning the line segments vertices. From where these vertices are joining together. And then we end this function, and then we call this flush function for the rendering purposes. So we are drawing triangles and polygons and quadrilaterals, and first of all we are clearing the color bit so that these different shapes can appear on the screen properly. So this is the main function. You have already familiar with this function. This is for titling of the window, and then in it window size, and then window position, and then color display function we are registering, and that init initialize GL function. This is the topmost function. You can see over here, set clearing or background color. This is the first function we have seen in this program. And then let me loop into the event processing loop, and then we return 0 function. So let's start build this program and see what will be the output. So build succeeded. Now try to run the, oh, you can see that in the screen. This is the first figure, this is the second figure, and this is having some shades. This is a triangle, and this is the opposite triangle, and this is the closed form polygon. So as a result, you can see how we draw different shapes by using and calling different OpenGL functions and drawing different geometric primitives. So let me close this program, and now I'm going back to the slides. So here you can see that we are using what is as floating point precision. It is because integer is not suitable for trigonometric operations needed to carry out in transformations such as rotation. So we always use uh, a floating point precision variable for drawing different vertices because integer is not suitable for trigonometric operations. And then you can see that precision of float is sufficient for carrying out information intermediate operations and render the objects finally into pixels on the screen. So this is the second reason that why we are using precision floating point numbers in drawing different vertices, because the precision of float is sufficient for carrying out intermediate operations. And the third thing is we are not using double precision, and it is not often used in OpenGL. So you have seen these things in the code you have seen we did. So this is the predefined function GL begin, and this is the predefined constant. We are drawing a quadrilateral on the screen, and we are mentioning colors by using these predefined functions like GL color 3F. Why we called it a 3F? Because we are it's this function requires three arguments. That's why we are specifying three over here. Similarly, when we are drawing different vertices, we are also using the two over here, which means that these functions requires only two arguments. So these are different arguments. You can test by your own and see what happens when you use them in your program. So OpenGL primitives, how we draw different colors with the help of these constants. R is equal to 1, green is equal to 0, and blue is equal to 0. So we give colors to different objects by using these constants. All subsequent vertices will have the color of red. And take note that an OpenGL color and many properties is applied to vertices rather than primitive shapes. And the color of the primitive shape is interpolated from its vertices, automatically applying its color on the primitive shape. So let's move on. And here you can see that we are using GL color 3F for dark gray color, and dark after dark gray we are using white colors, and then dark gray and then white. So we are using different colors for different objects to specify different objects. So these are all predefined functions we are using in OpenGL and drawing different objects on the screen. So let's move on another section and see what are other options available for drawing an OpenGL geometric primitives on the screen. So here in this screen you can see we have different color options for making different objects on the screen. So first of all, we can see GL clear color. The first argument is for the red color. The second argument is for the green, and then blue, and then alpha. Sets the colors used to red, green, blue, and alpha. And you have seen this function multiple times. GL clear color buffer bit performs the clear operation on one or more buffers at the same time. You can use this function to perform clear operation on one or more buffers at the same time. And then here you can see this thing is so much confusing when you're writing a program. So try to use these constants if you are specifying colors in RGBA format. So this is the black, and this is red, yellow, green, blue, and magenta and white, and then this is the gray. So these are all predefined functions written in OpenGL to specify different color options, and then we can use forcing completion of drawing. Multiple commands may be gathered in a buffer before execution. Efficiency purposes, the first one is GL flush, forces execution before the gathering is complete, and then GL finish forces all commands to be completed. The function does not return until then. So we are always using GL flush function because it forces execution before the gathering is complete. Before gathering further information from the frame buffer, this function executes as soon as it gets some input for execution. And this is the function for GL finish. It forces all commands to be completed, and then the execution of the program will display some objects on the screen. And then we have seen this function in our previous labs, reshape callback. So I will not talk about this function. You have already used this function. Then there are then drawing primitives, GL begin. When we are drawing some objects on the screen, then we are using GL begin and GL end commands, and like in this fashion. So what does the mode? Mode is these constants: GL points, GL lines, triangles, squads, and polygons, and so on. So we have already seen these different constants. We have did two programs in this lecture, and then how we draw some primitives with the help of GL begin and GL end. We write GL begin and then GL end, and then we specify vertex coordinates information and specifying color information like this one. Okay, you have seen these things, and so on. So how we draw lines and points features, we will see these functions a little more in our next lecture. How we specify point size by using this function, specifies the size of the point. Default is 1.0. So with the help of this function, we specify the point size, the vertex size, and then we specify the width of the line with the help of this function, GL line width size. So when we are drawing a line on the screen, then we are specifying its width with the help of this function, uh, and so on. So these are all different options you can use in OpenGL and draw different objects and primitives on the screen. I hope you enjoyed today's lecture, and now you have a better basic understanding of how we draw different objects and different geometric shapes on the screen. So if you have any confusion or questions or queries in your mind regarding today's lecture, so you can send me an email on my official email, and let me decide when I answer your queries. So till next lecture, Allah Hafiz.